Hello my Marvel and Disney fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. D23 is still currently happening. They just concluded their major panel talking about Lucasfilm and Marvel, and what I'm going to be doing here for you in this video is breaking down every major reveal that happened during that panel. Yesterday I did a video breaking down all the major reveals from day one. I'll link that down below if you want to be caught up on that. But here is the heavy hitting stuff a lot of people were hoping for, and yeah, some of us left slightly underwhelmed, but we got some cool stuff to talk about. So be sure to leave me your thoughts down below on what your favorite reveal was. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get started. So kicking things off on day 2 of D23 Expo, they started off with Lucasfilm. Now I'm just going to preface this by saying, some of you guys know here on my channel, I am a casual Star Wars fan, so I'm kind of going to breeze through a lot of this stuff just because of my lack of knowledge. But the first thing with Lucasfilm was discussing Andor. They released the final trailer for the public and the audiences at D23. Along with this trailer, they also mentioned that Season 2 is about to start production. It'll have a total of 24 episodes. I'm assuming that Season 1 and 2 together. The first 3 episodes will be dropping September 21st, and this looks to be like a much more serious show in the Star Wars universe that is going to be a lot more character and story driven, and I know there's a lot of Star Wars fans really excited for this. The one thing I want to say about these shows is it looks like money has really been pumped into these. For some reason, they next went on to Willow before they started talking about more Star Wars stuff. They not only announced that Christian Slater will be joining the cast, they also dropped a brand new trailer for audiences and the public. Willow isn't a movie I grew up on, but I know there's a lot of people who do love that film and are excited for this new story. This very much feels like Disney's Game of Thrones and them trying to capture that market. Who knows if they succeed? Nevertheless, like I said, it looks expensive and the effects look pretty good. From there, they went back to talking about Star Wars, and they had both Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau join the stage to talk about some upcoming projects. First up, they mentioned that The Bad Batch will have Season 2 coming out January 4th of 2023. They'll have a 2-episode premiere with 16 episodes in total. They also dropped the first trailer for an upcoming series called Tales of the Jedi. This will be a 3D animated series with 6 episodes, 3 of them focusing on Ahsoka and 3 other episodes focusing on Dooku. The series will be coming October 26th, and from the trailer they released, it looks like Clone War fans are going to be really happy, especially seeing more Anakin and Ahsoka interactions. Then they moved on to talk about the live-action Ahsoka with Jon Favreau on stage. They didn't show off any footage. They just really talked about the passion that they have for this series and are excited to bring it to Star Wars fans. They did show off our first look at Sabine. Really just a reminder that the show is coming and headed your way. Then they moved on to talk about Skeleton Crew. This is going to be the Star Wars series that is being directed by John Watts. Jon Favreau even mentioned the reason he got John Watts to do the show is because of them working together on the Spider-Man movies, and it was like, hey, you gotta return the favor. He helped him hook up with Aunt May. You gotta hook him up with the Star Wars show. That's just the way Hollywood works. But we did get our first look at Jude Law and the background of kids that we'll be following that get lost in the Star Wars galaxy trying to find their way back home. Then from there, they moved on to talk about Mandalorian Season 3, where they did finally release an official full-length trailer. And even though I'm a casual Star Wars guy and I mainly just check out the movies here and there, Mandalorian is a series I'm liking, and this trailer was phenomenal. I cannot wait to see Baby Grogu and the Mandalorian team up again for whatever adventure comes their way. Looks like Mando will be dealing with a lot of the repercussions of having taken off his helmet and discovering more about his culture. Bringing the Lucasfilm side of things to an end with Indiana Jones, man, I was hoping they were going to release some sort of trailer to the public, but they only released exclusive footage for attendees at D23. Before I get to describing that footage, I do want to mention Harrison Ford did take to the stage, and from all attendees there, he sounded very emotional, almost sad that this is going to be his last time playing Indiana Jones. He was quoted by saying, while choking up, that I'm very proud to say this one is fantastic, and that Indiana Jones 5 will kick your ass. As far as the footage goes, we do have here Eric Voss from New Rockstars, who was there, Lucky Punk, who described the footage by saying, the Indiana Jones 5 trailer footage looks amazing. It's a mix of older Indy plus flashbacks to younger de-aged Indy, fights atop a speeding train, a chase through a crowded parade, Indy whips to keep men back from his granddaughter, and they pull guns on him. Giant Indiana Jones fan, I can't wait for this final movie. The de-aging part kind of scares me, but also I kind of want to see a young Indiana Jones flashbacks. I think that'd be cool. Then from there, it was finally time for good old Kevin Feige to make his way on stage to talk about upcoming Marvel projects, and he started off with a bang, treating the audience of D23 to a full-on presentation of the Avengers musical. Not even kidding. Hope it was worth it. But once that little greeting was off the table, they moved on to talk about their first movie, and that is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. They brought Ryan Coogler on stage, who mentioned as soon as he's done with this presentation, he's gonna go right back to the editing room to making this movie. But But attendees there were given a sneak peek to some footage of Black Panther, a full clip that was not released to the public. The footage included a lot of Namor action sequences where Namor was fighting M'Baku. More details on the movie say it focuses on the rest of the world trying to capitalize on Wakanda's resources at their weakest point, and I'm assuming that's because they've lost their king. So that was a nice little tease for the attendees there. Then they moved on to talk about Ironheart. Again, sadly, they didn't reveal any footage to the public. Whatever they did show to us just showed off Anthony Ramos as the villain, the Hood, where they described the story of this show will mainly be about magic versus technology. I think after people watch Wakanda Forever, we'll be a lot more pumped to see Riri Williams become Ironheart. Then from there, they moved on to talk about Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, which sadly, again, wasn't a whole lot of stuff for us. The things they did show off seem to have been similar clips from San Diego Comic-Con. They did mention, though, that this movie will have a direct tie-in to Avengers The Kang Dynasty, which, duh, because Kang is the villain of Ant-Man 3. They also even confirmed that Randall Park, Jimmy Woo, will be returning. Then we finally got into being able to show some footage to audiences that weren't just at D23, because Marvel decided to release our first trailer for their Halloween special coming to Disney Plus, Werewolf by Night. This is loosely based off a comic book of the same name, and once you see this trailer, you would not even think this is Marvel related. They're taking a very artistic approach, paying homage to the old Universal monster movies, and I kind of love it. This really just goes to show you, for the people who say Marvel just does the same things over and over, this really does give you those vibes of those older black and white movies, and yes, the entire thing will be black and white. It is essentially a werewolf story set in the Marvel universe, and I do like the way the story is set up, with a group of strangers in one room being told one of you is a werewolf, and then the group has to figure it out from there. I'm gonna be watching it. It'll be coming to the platform October 7th, but I understand if it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. Then from there, we were given another trailer, and it was our first look to the upcoming Disney Plus series, Secret Invasion. Now, this again is loosely based off the comic book event of the same name, where Skrulls were invading Earth, and this trailer kind of blew me away. Sure, it didn't seem like a whole lot was going on to some people, but I really dig the Winter Soldier vibe. This feels like an espionage thriller with Nick Fury trying to figure out who's a Skrull, who's not a Skrull, and trying to get to the bottom of this invasion. Also loving that Don Cheadle is being brought in here as War Machine. Although some people would have rather this been a big Avengers style type of movie, I think they're going to handle it pretty well here, and I'm excited to see where this goes. People complain that Marvel has gotten a little too jokey, and this feels like the most serious Marvel has gotten in a long time. Once the footage for Secret Invasion ended, they did confirm that the events of this show will tie directly into Armor Wars that is still happening. This is the solo War Machine Disney Plus series that I've been looking forward to, because I think War Machine is an underrated character in the MCU, and when we weren't getting any updates, I thought maybe they canceled it, but it's good to know it's still happening. From there, they brought on the cast for Loki Season 2 to kind of talk a little bit about the upcoming show. One thing I found kind of funny is actor Ke-Huy Quan, who played Short Round in the old Indiana Jones movies, made a joke saying, "Wait, this isn't the Indiana Jones panel?" I kind of wish he was showing up in Indiana Jones though, but nevertheless, attendees were shown exclusive footage that was not released to the public, and they describe a lot of Kang action, so you'll be seeing Jonathan Majors in here, which I think is kind of wild that a big main MCU Avengers villain is showing up in Ant-Man 3 and a Loki series. But this really again just plays into the fact that there are so many variants of this character, we're going to see him pop up a lot. Once that panel ended, Kevin Feige brought on the famous Fantastic Four logo on the screen. The crowd was going wild, only for Kevin Feige to let us know he has no updates on the movie other than to finally confirm Matt Shakman, who was the director of WandaVision, is officially the new director for Fantastic Four, replacing John Watts, finally making it official, but also saying he has no casting updates today, which means we have to deal with several more months of fan castings online. I can't handle it, Kevin Feige. End it. When that disappointment was out of the way, then we moved on to talk about the Echo series. We had the audience take the stage and were shown exclusive clips from the show, one where people are even mentioning that Vincent D'Onofrio is sporting some sort of bandage or eye patch, just like in the comics, but also because at the end of the Hawkeye series, he was shot right in the face and survived. The show will mainly be about fleshing out the backstory between Maya and Fisk, and that could be exciting. From there, they transitioned over to Daredevil Born Again, where they revealed to us a brand new logo that I think is looking sweet, and also hints to us we will finally be getting those double D's on Daredevil's chest. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio took the stage to kind of let us know that they will be part of the series, so whatever happens in Echo, Fisk is surviving that, and should make sense. Man survived a bullet to the face. With Charlie Cox just mentioning he's very excited to get back into Daredevil. It still will be 18 episodes, and they just showed off a clip from She-Hulk where Daredevil will be appearing. Then to some other jaw-dropping news that I was kind of blown away by: Captain America 4 New World Order. We were given our first look at the logo that I think is looking really sweet, especially if you see some of the wings coming from the back of this logo. It kind of hints to us a small upgrade of his suit. But one of the biggest shockers about this is they confirmed that Anthony Mackie's Captain America will be facing off against the Leader, played by Tim Blake Nelson, who was teased all the way back in The Incredible Hulk. That villain is finally going to see the light of day, and he's going to be a Captain America villain. That's kind of wild. Makes me wonder if Bruce Banner or the Hulk will be showing up in this movie. Either way, just finally glad this villain is showing up in the MCU, played by the exact same actor. That's a nice touch. They also confirmed Danny Ramirez will be returning to play the Falcon, so this Captain America will be having his sidekick the Falcon. That's awesome. And even the character of Isaiah Bradley will also be showing up in this movie. No word about Bucky, but that makes sense, because then we move on to talk about the Thunderbolts movie, where they ended with some concept art revealing to us the Thunderbolts team. Right here, looking at the team, we have Ghost, who was the villain in Ant-Man 2. Then we have Red Guardian, played by David Harbour, Yelena, who's going to be the leader of the team, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, John Walker, aka US Agent, coming back, and Taskmaster, I'm sure everyone's favorite member of the Thunderbolts. And you know what? I kind of dig this team. I only wish I could have seen Abomination thrown in there. Maybe he still will be, but so far, this looks kind of cool. Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. Even more excited to see what the villain is that they could be fighting off against in this movie. Will any one of these people die throughout the course of the film? I'm willing to give this movie the benefit of the doubt, even though some people are doubting it. Ending the panel off talking about the Marvels, that'll be featuring Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Photon, where the footage they showed was exclusive to D23, picking up where the post-credit scene from Miss Marvel ended, featuring the Cat of Goose, Carol, and Monica fighting enemies in Kamala's living room, and even Monica Rambeau being trained by Nick Fury. So that's kind of cool, but I gotta admit, slightly underwhelmed with the Marvel panel, but they still revealed a lot of cool stuff. They also even talked about Avatar 2. We're all excited for that. Don't know what much more we want to know about it though. It was honestly kind of underwhelming, and I was surprised Marvel revealed so much at San Diego Comic-Con and kind of revealed breadcrumbs here at their own event, D23. Either way, still stuff for us to get excited about. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.